A BBC investigation has uncovered widespread sexual abuse on tea farms, which supply some of the world's most popular brands, including Lipton. Dozens of women in Kenya told the BBC they've been forced into sex by their managers while working on plantations owned for decades by two British companies. Tom Odula has this report from Nairobi for BBC Africa Eye, a warning it does contain distressing scenes.
The tea grown here in Kenya's Rift Valley supplies some of the world's biggest brands. It's a multi-billion-dollar global industry, and we've discovered that sexual exploitation is rife. I spoke to dozens of women, all with a similar story.
It's torture. He wants to sleep with you, then you get a job.
When you say no, he forces himself on you, wanting to touch you.
It reached a point that I thought of suicide.
We sent an undercover reporter to pose as a worker. We are calling her Katie.
It was time for the general public to know what exactly happens in these companies.
She goes for a job interview with a notorious manager, John Chebochok. He's in charge of hundreds of workers on plantations owned by Scottish firm James Finlay and Company. He tells her to follow him into a hotel room, where he puts pressure on her to have sex with him. Members of the production team were stationed nearby and made a phone call to help her get out.
I was so scared and so shocked. It must be really difficult for the women.
James Finlay and Company says it immediately suspended John Chebochok and that it has reported him to Kenyan police. John Chebochok did not respond. The company has also launched its own investigation into whether its Kenyan operation has an endemic problem with sexual violence. The company supplies Starbucks and supermarket Sainsbury's and Tesco. Sainsbury's says these horrific allegations have no place in its supply chain. Tesco Supermarket says it's taking the claims extremely seriously. Starbucks did not provide a response. We also sent Katie undercover on plantations owned for years by multinational firm Unilever, where PG tips and Lipton teas are produced. She was pressured for sex by the divisional manager and her direct supervisor.
If you can satisfy me and satisfy you, we can proceed.
Unilever has known about this issue for more than a decade. In 2011, a report found sexual exploitation was prevalent on Unilever's plantations. The company introduced a zero-tolerance policy and other measures, but little appears to have changed. Unilever says it's deeply shocked and saddened by our allegations. While we were secretly filming, Unilever sold its tea operation in Kenya. The new owner, Lipton Teas and Infusions, says it has suspended the managers named in our investigation and has launched an independent inquiry. Tom Odula, BBC News.